Hi, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this tower of 7 drawers. Right, let's get on and make some shavings. So the first job is to rip down the purple heart in thickness, ready so I can get some panels glued up, ready to make the carcass from. Right, now all the purple heart has been ripped up, it's time to get all these boards orientated correctly. So what I would do is I'd just lay them out, pick them up and start having a look in at which way the edge grain is running. So here, as you can see, I put pencil lines on just to over exaggerate the grain direction. So it's running uphill towards me. So you quickly just want to pick up each board and have a little look which way the grain's running. So again here, it's running up towards me. So yeah, you want to have a look, see which way it's going, and then spin or flip the board round to make sure they're all going in the same direction. So again, this little piece on the end here, grain is running uphill. So when I put these all down, all 3 boards, the grain is running uphill in this direction. So now I know this, I can mark my boards. After that, it's going to be orientating the boards ready to go over the surface planer to get the edges nice and straight so they fit together properly. So I'd pick up a board like this one, and the grain is running downhill. So this is the end. I will feed over my surfacer first, because as the cutter is spinning, it is going in the same direction as the grain, which is going downhill. So if I fed it fed it over the surface planer the other way, it would spin and chip into the grain and probably cause a lot of breakout. Right, let's get surfacing. Now it is time to cut the housing joints to take my middle dividers. After each pass, I sand off the breakout just to make sure the workpiece sits back down the sled properly. So now the back panel has been fitted, it's time to edge up these middle dividers. I'm going to be sticking on some 12mm by 10mm purple heart and flush trimming back with a router. Right, so now it is time to get the carcass glued together. Normally I wouldn't film such a big glue up, but I decided to just glue in all the internal dividers and then glue the top and bottom and back in afterwards, which made it a little bit more manageable, and things went sweetly. Now it is time to router the chamfer detail on the internal edges of these drawer apertures. So what I've done is I've clamped 2 long sticks down the long edges of the carcass just to add extra stability to the router base to stop it rocking. So you can see the piece of ply which I'm moving along as I go, and that is adding extra stability down the long edges. I've tried to get some G-clamps onto this piece of ply, but obviously they're going to be in the way of the router, so I've just opted for stuffing a cloth in, and that traps the board up nicely. Here I'm just sanding out the burn marks in the corners left over from the router. Don't know if I'll make it back home. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Here you can see me taping some angled blocks to the legs. This is to give myself 2 parallel faces, so I've got something to fit my G-clamp to. At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. Now it is time to fix the base to the carcass. I've offset the base 15mm more to the front to allow for 15mm by 100mm skirting at the back. I've done this so the carcass sits flush against the wall and will give it more stability. Time to machine up the maple and walnut for these drawers. finally, all the drawer material has been machined up, so it's now time to start cutting the joinery. I'm going to be using 8mm maple for the drawbacks, 8mm walnut for the drawer sides, and 12mm maple for the drawer fronts. I'm using maple and walnut to give my through dovetails a contrasting look. Here I'm chiselling out the end of the slot which takes the drawer bottom.